This chart tracks the net worth of the average lottery winner over time. You see a massive initial spike in capital, followed by a rapid degradation, plummeting right back to zero. In fact, 70% of lottery winners go completely bankrupt within a few years of cashing their ticket. They acquire sudden cash, but they lack the operational knowledge required to manage it. Trillions of dollars circulate through the global economy every single hour, yet most of us are never taught how that money actually moves. This widespread lack of structural financial knowledge is what prevents the average person from capturing and holding on to that flow. We are often taught to chase financial freedom, but that concept is entirely passive. It relies on a fixed amount of money you accumulate and sit on, making it highly vulnerable to inflation, bad investments, or simply running dry. The actual target is financial confidence. This is an active, deep-seated skill. It is the hard-earned acumen and belief that you can generate wealth from scratch at any time, regardless of what your current bank account says. To build that confidence, you have to break two specific mental blocks. The first is an inherited scarcity mindset, the conventional belief that money is universally limited, or the idea that money doesn't grow on trees. Believing that capital is scarce blinds people to very real, accessible opportunities. The second block is retreating into our comfort zones. Generating wealth requires taking calculated risks. You have to step out of strict safety and maintain the internal self-image that you genuinely deserve financial success. Take a look at Peter. He is a successful content creator currently experiencing sudden, massive spikes in his monthly revenue. But despite generating a high volume of cash, Peter possesses zero actual wealth. He earns money, but he lacks a financial operating system to capture and grow it. This diagram illustrates exactly what happens to his capital. He trades his time for active income, funneling cash into a central node. Because he strictly funds lifestyle purchases, that income immediately splits and drains entirely into multiple dead-end IPs, his liabilities. Earning a high volume of cash without an active system to protect it mathematically guarantees eventual ruin. To fix this, you have to tear down the old pipes and rebuild your financial structure using 4 core rules of money. Rule number 1 is straightforward. Never invest in what you don't understand. Blindly throwing capital into trending stocks, crypto, or real estate because everyone else is doing it is a fast track to losing it. Before deploying a single dollar, you must conduct thorough research. And if you seek outside input, only take professional advice from individuals who actively hold skin in the game for those specific assets. Rule 1 requires you to vet professionals and research complex business models. To do that effectively, you need an internal filter capable of processing high-level data. Ultimately, this makes your own cognitive development the primary engine that determines the success of every subsequent investment. That leads directly into rule number 3, play offense. Conventional financial gurus focus almost entirely on defense. They preach extreme preservation tactics, like living in strict deprivation and cutting out daily coffees just to stockpile pennies. Instead of shrinking your life to fit a small salary, the offensive alternative is to acquire and leverage new, high-income marketplace skills. You build earning power designed to aggressively fund the lifestyle you actually want. Defensive deprivation only delays poverty. Continuous, offensive skill building is what guarantees sustainable capital generation over a lifetime. Once you have those internal skills, you need external mechanical tools. Rule number 2 establishes that debt is a weapon. You have to break the inherited belief that all borrowing is inherently dangerous or evil. This shows bad debt, capital borrowed for depreciating consumer goods. It triggers a negative feedback loop of interest payments, draining active income. Good debt, however, acts as mechanical leverage. You use borrowed capital to acquire assets that mathematically out-earn the cost of the loan. That brings us to rule number 4. Develop skills to acquire assets. You must shift your focus entirely away from trading your time for a fixed salary. The mechanics are remarkably simple. Assets deposit money into your pocket. Liabilities extract money from your pocket. By utilizing high-demand skills, you generate the income necessary to purchase cash-flowing assets. Whether it's real estate, dividend-paying stocks, or automated businesses, these structures provide continuous, independent streams of payment. True wealth mechanics fall into place when your offensive skills are utilized to acquire assets that out-earned the cost of your good debt, removing your time from the equation entirely. Traditional schools simply do not teach financial literacy. Because this operational knowledge is entirely omitted from the standard curriculum, building these mechanics must be strictly self-taught. This diagram illustrates Peter's new financial structure after successfully implementing the 4 rules. The dead-end liabilities are gone. Now, his central skills node generates a stream directed entirely to assets, and that capital loops cleanly back into the central node, forming a completely self-sustaining cycle. Activating a system like this requires a psychological baseline. You must be willing to take calculated risks and firmly maintain the internal self-image that you genuinely deserve the success you are building. Ultimate financial security is not determined by hitting a specific savings number, a high salary, or a massive subscriber count. True financial confidence is absolute certainty. It is the knowledge that even if every dollar of capital were lost today, you possess the active skills and the internal acumen to rebuild that wealth from scratch tomorrow.